I think you'll agree with me that there is a lot of confusion out there on YouTube and everywhere else in life about what a healthy lifestyle really is. What are the helpful habits? What are the components of a healthy lifestyle? On one hand, you have people like Jordan Peterson who are promoting a carnivore diet, claiming that it's the panacea that will cure you of anything from autoimmune diseases to fixing your depression and mood.
So I've only been eating meat for beef, fundamentally, for almost 5 years now.
At the other end of the spectrum, you have other people like Dr. John Scharfenberg, who is a retired physician and nutritionist, who recently turned 100 years old and still has a clear mind and a strong body. And he advocates for just the opposite: a plant-based vegetarian diet, regular physical activity, and other things like that.
The vegetarians are living much longer than other people.
Yeah.
They did a study in California of the general population. For the men, what percent of them live to be 85 or older? Well, it's 48.6% for the vegetarians. But for the general population, it's 19.5%.
So what is the regular person to do? Who are we going to believe? And as I try to put it all together in a package that's easy to understand and to follow, I developed an acronym, and it stands for BEST LIFE. And each of the letters stands for a big category, for a group of healthy habits or things to do to promote our health and well-being. And my plan is for every week, or as often as I can produce a video on this channel, I'm going to rotate between each of these 8 categories, so that every 2 or 3 months I'm going to start over from the beginning. And what I'm going to put into this, other than my time and effort and my soul, is really simple to follow, easy to understand, evidence-based concepts, principles, habits that you can implement in your life in consult with your physician. Please understand that I'm not giving here personalized medical advice. This is for educational purposes only. This is coming from all my experience that I've accumulating over these many years. As a side note, in the late 90s, I actually hosted Dr. John Scharfenberg in our apartment in Romania, and I spent a fair amount of time with him, so I consider him one of my mentors. And I'm not partial. If Jordan Peterson reaches 100 years of age with his way of eating, that would be a moment where I would actually start to pay attention. But until then, I'm going to remain a skeptic. And for good reason, because I've learned a lot about the impact of different diets and lifestyle habits from my patients. I see at least 3,000 patients a year, and I've been doing this for over 2 decades. And I've also been studying the literature. I spent 2 years of my life doing a master's in nutrition, so I follow both the medical literature in general, the lifestyle literature, and also the nutrition literature quite closely. So I think I am in a position at this time in my life where I can put it all together in a canon, if you want, of what it takes to live a healthy, productive, happy life. And I coined an acronym for this, BEST LIFE, each letter standing for a category of habits, principles that constitute the foundation of a happy and healthy life. These are evidence-based, simple to follow things that apply to any age. I think this is going to have large addressability. And I count on you being here, my friends. So if you happen to watch this and you think this will be valuable for you, if you subscribe, if you click on the notification bell, my promise to you today is that you will be the first to know when I post a new video in each of these 8 categories, and I'm going to try to do it on a weekly basis depending on time availability and other unforeseen factors, so that every 2 or 3 months I'm going to rotate again and again through all of these 8 categories. And I promise you I'm going to have material to post for at least 1 decade, if not more. So this is a long-term endeavor that I'm launching in, and I appreciate your trust. And as a preview today, I just want to list all these 8 categories of the canon of a best life with a short preview for each of them. We're going to start with balance, which simply means that moderation is key in everything we do. You see people, oftentimes they get sold on an idea or, the carnivore diet if you want. And they go all in. It's not wise to invest everything you have in just one direction, no matter how fascinating it may be. But balance also has to do with learning how to prioritize and how to do what is really important in your life. And also involves learning how to avoid, things like tobacco, alcohol, mind-altering and body-destroying drugs, to shun promiscuity, and to come to peace to keep sexuality within the confines of a monogamous relationship. And there are many other aspects we'll cover in this, but more on this later. The next category has to do with exercise, and here I'm going to just give you the very essence of this, and that is for good health and weight maintenance. As adults, we all need about 3 hours of moderate intensity exercise per week at a minimum. An hour a day is even better. And at least 30 minutes of strength training per week. The third category, sunshine. Sync your circadian rhythm with nature. Get out every morning when the sun gets out to boost your insulin sensitivity, to lift your mood, to strengthen your immune system, and bones with vitamin D made under the influence of the UVB radiation from sunshine, and to quench those reactive oxygen species through the infrared radiation that comes from the sun, even when you are not sitting under direct sunlight. The fourth category has to do with thrust, finding meaning, fulfilling your mission in life, to finding answers to those key questions, where are we coming from? Who are we? Where are we going after this short life that we are trying to improve with all these other factors that we are discussing here? Now, this aspect is absolutely essential and oftentimes neglected or avoided for various reasons, but I plan to include it because it's so important, it's so essential, and it's so helpful, and it is in this category that we actually can draw the deepest motivation that we can ever find to live a healthy and happy lifestyle. The fifth category is liquid from water, and this has to do with learning how to start your day with drinking clean, fresh water, but also using the cleaning and healing properties of water, both internally and externally. The sixth category I named inhale. Get that fresh air in your body, but go out and do that. Modify your living and working environment in such a way that you ensure proper ventilation so you can remove all those small particles, all those VOCs and other pollutants, and simply learn how to breathe better, and also make sure that at least once a week you go out in the forest to boost your natural killer immune function. Number 7, freshness, getting enough rest, enough sleep, 7 hours at least a night, 9 hours if you are a teenager. And this has to be good quality sleep that will regenerate your brain, your whole body, and restore the balance of the hormones that control your weight, your mood, and your health in general. The last category, but not the least, has to do with eating the food that we put in our body. We are what we eat, right? And here I'm going to give you hints and reasons why we should all strive to eat a diet based on whole grains, fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and seeds, consumed in a state as close to their natural state, avoiding all these ultra-processed, highly palatable, highly addictive ingredients or foods. And again, this is just a very short preview of what we're going to cover here. After all, I promise you that this will be a decade-plus endeavor, so I can't even hope to cover even the titles of what we're going to discuss here. But trust me, it's going to be interesting, it's going to be engaging, and I actually count on your participation with not just commenting or giving me feedback, but also asking questions, posting suggestions about topics you would like me to address in this series. And I really look forward to having you here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I appreciate if you did so. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.